of my biggest fear as a parent isn't that my children will make mistakes. Children make mistakes. We all do. But my fear is that one day someone will convince them they deserve to be treated badly. And they won't recognize it. Maybe you felt that fear too. Because one day your child will leave your protection and someone else will have influence over their hearts. Maybe a friend, maybe a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or maybe even a future spouse. And no matter how much you've taught them, no matter how much you've loved them, there's no guarantee that that person will treat them well. That thought scares me. And if you're a parent, it probably scares you too. Because we want to believe our children will walk away from anyone who hurts them. We want to believe they will be able to recognize manipulation, control, disrespect, emotional abuse. But what if they don't? What if the person hurting them is also the person making them feel loved? Because that's a part many people don't understand. Relationship that is toxic rarely begins with pain. They begin with attention, with kindness, with acceptance, with someone who makes your child feel special. And that's exactly what makes them dangerous. The relationship doesn't become unhealthy overnight. It happens slowly, little by little, boundary by boundary, until one day your child finds themselves accepting things they never thought they would accept. And here's why I know. I remember years ago, I was in a relationship which my father strongly disapproved of. He warned me more than once. He told me he was concerned. He could see things I couldn't see, but I didn't listen. Not because I was a bad daughter, not because I was rebellious, but because I cared about this person. I believe in the good moments. I explained away the warning signs. And the more he pushed me to leave, the more determined I became to stay. Have you ever noticed that sometimes when people feel attacked, they stop listening, they start defending? And that's exactly what many children do. Eventually, I began to see the things my father had been trying to show me. The things I ignored because I didn't want them to be true. And that was when I left. Not because someone forced me to, but because I finally saw clearly. And that experience taught me something I have never forgotten. Most people don't live on healthy relationship because someone tells them to. They live when they finally believe they deserve better. And that's what brings me to one of the biggest mistakes parents make. When we see our children getting hurt, our first instinct is to rescue them, to protect them, to fix it. So we say things like, just leave. That person is bad for you. You need to end this relationship. And why those words come from love, they don't always produce the results we want. Because before a child can live emotionally, they have to see the problem for themselves. So, what should we do instead? First, watch for the signs many parents miss. Not bruises, not dramatic arguments, not obvious warning signs. Watch for changes. The child who used to laugh all the time but now seems anxious. The child who slowly pulls away from friends. The child who becomes obsessed with pleasing one person. The child who seems afraid of disappointing someone. The child who no longer looks like themselves. Sometimes the relationship isn't changing their circumstances. It is changing who they are. And that matters. Second, become curious before becoming critical. Instead of, I don't like them, try, how do you feel when you are with them? Instead of, that relationship is toxic, try, I've noticed you don't seem happy lately. Because questions invite reflection, while criticism invites defense. Third, build your child's self-worth long before they need it. Build it now, no matter their age. Because self-worth is protection. Children who genuinely believe they deserve respect are harder to manipulate, harder to control, harder to convince that maltreatment is normal. Tell them, you deserve kindness. You deserve respect. You deserve relationship that makes you feel safe. You deserve people who celebrate you, not people who diminish you. And finally, please keep the door open. Even when they don't listen, even when they disagree, even when they choose differently than you hoped for. Because living a toxic relationship isn't a single moment. It's usually a journey. People leave, they go back, question themselves, hope things will change, and then leave again. What they need during that process is not shame, it is connection. They need to know that when everything falls apart, there's still someone they can run to and let that person be you. Someone who won't say, I told you so. Someone who will simply say, I am glad you are here. Because one day, your child may meet someone who lies to them, someone who manipulates them, someone who controls them, or makes them question their worth. And when that day comes, your greatest protection will not be your rules. It will not be your lecture. It will not even be your warnings. It will be the voice you've built over the years inside of them. Voice that says, I deserve kindness. I deserve respect. I deserve honesty. I deserve better. And when that voice finally becomes louder than the manipulation, that is when they walk away. Not because you control them, but because you prepare them. And perhaps that's one of the greatest goals of parenting, to raise children who know exactly what they deserve and have the courage to walk away from anything less. If this message resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you. And what is one relationship lesson you hope your children never have to learn the hard way?